In this media, you will learn about amendment and enforcement of conventions. Amendments. Technology changes very rapidly these days in the shipping industry. Hence, new conventions are required keeping up to date the existing ones. Example: International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, CLASS 1960, entered into force in 1965, was amended in 1966, 1967, 1968, 1969, 1971, and 1973. A new convention was adopted in 1974, incorporating all of the above amendments, and it has also been modified subsequently on many occasions. Only after the acceptance by two-thirds contracting states, the amendments in the earlier conventions were brought into force. Enforcement. The enforcement of IMO conventions wholly depends on the governments of the member parties. Contracting governments enforce the provisions of IMO conventions in respect of their own ships and also decide the penalties for infringements. They have certain limited powers in respect of the ships of other governments also. Some conventions specify that certificates shall be carried on board ships to prove that their ships have been inspected properly and meet the required standards. Authorities from other states generally accept these certificates, but in certain cases, some other states may ask for more improvements to be met out to satisfy their stringent laws or needs in the visiting states. If an offense occurs in international waters, the flag state becomes responsible for imposing a penalty. When an offense occurs within the jurisdiction of another state, the state can cause proceedings in accordance with its own law. Else, the state can also produce the details of the offense to the flag state to facilitate the latter to take appropriate action. The flag state is thus primarily responsible for enforcing conventions in respect of its own ships and their personnel. The organization itself doesn't have powers to enforce the conventions. Thus, you have learned about the amendment and enforcement of conventions.